So here we are back for a second stream today. And this time it's more about like getting to know about Solid.js. And I think I will be doing like something in Vite. The project we are in is bookrec. So we would like to have the book recorder component. And we would like to have also like Tailwind.js inside of Solid.js. So and this is managed by Vite. So Tailwind, CSS, nice first page. Um, so these guys, um, they do have some docs, core concept, basic style layout, flex grid, spacing, sign, typography, backgrounds, borders, effects, filters, tables, transitions and animations, transforms, interactivity, SVG, accessibility. So that's all the docs like. This is no, and there's some plus apparently. Build your next idea even faster with UI blocks and templates, UI kits based on Tailwind, of course. I guess this doesn't gets me interested. Um, I will just look like Tailwind, right? Here, well, it was just before and getting started. So installation, you got the tail using Vite here, and npm install tailwind css, add tailwind css Vite. Configure the Vite plugin, add the tailwind css Vite plugin to your Vite configuration, import tailwind css, add the import to your css file, and import tailwind css. Start your build process, npm run dev or whatever. And of course we have also Vite itself. The build tool for the dev, get started. You have a CLI and you have Vite root, dev serve, Vite build, others. I don't know where you can create create a new site using ntl init. What is this? Netlify CLI. Okay, why not? Another tag. Deploying aesthetics, deploying building for production. Performance. Well, I think if I find Solid.js Vite, there's a getting started file in here. So we're working on new docs. You can check out our new beginner tutorial here and join our efforts on Discord. So this one is not found. Otherwise, we can see Solid for quick video overviews of Solid core concepts. Check out Solid in 100 seconds. By far the easiest way to get started with Solid is to try it online. Our REPL is at playground.solidjs.com is the perfect way to try it out. Ideas as is codesandbox.io where you can modify any of our examples. Alternatively, you can use our Vite templates by running these commands in your terminal. So we have Vite templates in here. Mm. Add detail one to your post CSS configuration. Mm. Start your build process. Run your build process with npm run dev. Start using tail1 in your HTML. So right now I will not say I would like to use solid.js, but at least I would like to see how I can use solid.js for this for the matters I was doing, and I was like experimenting. And for example, there was, let me close this guy here, close this guy as well here. Okay, very good. I closed them all. All right, so let's go. There is actually another. So I'm in bookrec right now, and I had like front end. So not sure what I have to yag about here. Most of the files are written in Go lang, so okay. So in the front end, I had updated like 2 files here that are not staged. There is internal port, HTTP port, and there is main.go. So now they are staged. Can just make a new commit. And the good commit message here is fix media device API call and add front-end CLI entry point. Fix typo in JavaScript code. Media device is media devices. Add mango with cover CLI initialization for front-end. Okay, so that's it. And I will git move front-end to front-end dash HTMX cannot move itself to its destination, unfortunately. So it will be possible to make a directory front, maybe git move front end to front HTMX, git move front end front to front end. All right, and that should give me some status here. Let's see, normally I don't know if the git diff is Based on the div, there is a subtraction refactor. Move frontend code to HTMX subdirectory. Reorganize the frontend code bus by moving all files into a dedicated HTMX subdirectory to better structure the project and prepare for potential additional front-end implementations. So this is where we are going right now. And I want to be adding new front-end and trying like Solid.js, React, and much of other things. Theo as well was posting a video I skipped. And I lost Breaking Planet Scale. Just made the fastest SQL Aurora killer. Really sure TypeScript is being ported to Go. Yeah, there's TypeScript Go, right? So there's this whole thing about TypeScript Go by Microsoft, staging repo for development of native port of TypeScript. This repo is very much under active development. As such, there are no published artifacts at this time. Interested developers can clone and run locally to try out things as they become available. So you can build lin format, generate. So program creation, parsing, scanning, command line, type resolution, type checking. So now TypeScript is available in Go, and I don't know what is React Convex. This whole word like of open source of like Convex React. This is a database, the reactive database for app developers. Oh, yeah. There's so many projects, and all are available for some plans, of course. But we should start from something, and right now we just want to try Solid.js. And Solid.js, they have templates we can try out. But it's not sure that those templates are the right one to use. So here I see you can get Solid.js templates JS, and there is for TypeScript as well. Get Solid.js templates TS, or you can install dependencies in your own project to use Solid with GSX. You need to install the Solid.js npm library and the Solid.jsx compiler. Babel preset Solid. For TypeScript, there are for TypeScript, set your tsconfig.json to handle Solid.jsx. Solid is all about small composable pieces that serve as building blocks for applications. These pieces are mostly functions which make up many shallow top-level APIs. Fortunately, you won't need to know about most of them to get started. The two main types of building blocks you have at your disposal are components and reactive primitives. Okay, so two main pieces here. Components are functions that accepts a props object and return GSX. Elements, including native DOM elements and other components. So accept the props object and return the GSX elements. So my component props return div hello props dot my name, and then you can just use my component name equals solid. For example, they can be expressed as a JSX in Pascal case. Components are lightweight in that they are not stateful themselves and have no instances. Instead, they serve as factory functions for DOM elements and reactive primitives. Solid finds grain reactivity is built on 3 core primitives: signals, memos, and effects. Together, they form a node tracking synchronization engine that ensure your view stays up to date. Reactive computation take the form of function wrapped expressions that execute synchronously. Const first, set first, create signal JSON, create signal born, last set last. Alright, create effects, console.log, first, last. Well, there's not much said about here, but like we got to learn more about reactivity and rendering here. Think solid. Solid designs carry several opinions on what principles and value help us best build websites and applications. It is easier to learn and use solid when you are aware of the philosophy behind it. Declarative data vanishing components, read-word segregation. Simple is better than easy. Web components, server rendering, boldless options. If you need or prefer to use solid in non-compiled environments such as plain HTML files, Codepen.io, etc., you can use HTML tag template literal or Hyperscript H functions. In plain JavaScript instead of solid, compile time optimized JSX syntax. You can run them straight from the browser using Skypack, for example. Right. Okay, try solid here where you can use Vite templates. So here we have multiple templates. We have JS, Tailwind, CSS, for example. Or so those template dependencies are maintained via PNPM, via PNPM up LRI. This is why you see a PNPM lock YAML. That being said, any package manager will work. This file can safely be removed once you clone a template. All right. render app root app return hello tailwind. Okay, so this maybe has a Vite config, the solid plugin, the tailwind CSS plugin. We got the right package JSON. So that's a possible plugin we have here. There is TS, I guess, tailwind CSS as well. I prefer, though, not using TypeScript because I'm not sure how that should go. Here we need to import the type component, while on the JS version we don't need that. We just return the GSX. And by the way, I really don't know how I could get to go Navium and React Solid.js ecosystem. I'm sure there is a plugin for Visual Studio or something, but so there are people like sharing. Yeah, maybe we could use like Visual Studio here for front-end code. And see how it will work. So anyways, for the IDE, I will try Solid.js, but with, I don't know if there is LSP, so Solid.js LSP, language server protocol. I feel like you're confused, you only need TypeScript language server. The go-to definitions will work as long as you have the dependencies in node modules. If not, just npm install and then open with editor. I have formatters and LSP working on my config. You can check the code. If you have Nix, run NixOS and Vimcat to check out my config without polluting your config. On the other hand, yeah. So TypeScript is apparently like a good. So what if I don't need that mod integration with my editor? Let's see what will be the default one. So I will be trying the TS Tailwind CSS. I mean the JS Tailwind CSS. And for that reason, it's using npx digit. npx digit. Solid GS slash templates slash JS tailwind CSS, and we will call it solid JS. So now while this is cloned here, I would have to maybe just git add this. We have JSON YAML JS HTML. MD as well. JS. So it has already stage readme, index HTML, JS config JSON, package JSON. And what's from the source package? I don't see anything from the source package. Because it's JSX and CSS. So, alright, but it's already staged as well. So let's commit. This, and let's say, so what are we doing? We add solid.js frontend project with Tailwind CSS integration, initialize solid.js project with basic structure and configuration, add Tailwind CSS setup and configuration, include basic components and layout setup, configure build tool fits and development environments, set up project dependencies and log file. I don't know why this one would be of any interest. Alright, so pnpm, what was it? It was pnpm up. So apparently this results pnpm stuff. So is it pnpm install actually? Pnpm run. Dev. Okay, so like this we have our new app application, and with nothing special, port 3000, hello tailwind. So meaning that tailwind here is perfectly binded inside. But I need to make my first component with my recorder and to understand a bit of the logic of solid. And also I'll try to push the same code as for so let's try as well. So so it's in frontend, solid.js, and in source I had app.jsx or index.jsx, so I can render the app. It will return this, but before returning this, I can make sure I have navigator.media devices. So I need to set AT shift wide 2 or something like this. Media devices, and I'm already doing this inside HTMX port, I guess. Yep. Get user media audio true. .den stream console.log stream. Okay, so did that. So if I go here, it's now allowing this in here, and then from here I get a media stream. So I need to create a signal for an effect of the signal if the signal is being modified for my media stream here. I need to create for whatever the basic I understand of how solid.js is actually working. So let's see again.
Solid, a declarative JavaScript framework for building fast UIs with maximum control over reactivity. It was to bring you as close to the DOM as possible. The framework itself only weighs 7 kilobytes, and it completely crushes runtime performance benchmarks without the need for any extra magic or weird hacks in your code. But most importantly, it's truly reactive. A function component is only called once, which means you can do unheard of things like use set interval predictably at the top level. Data that changes.
This is very good aspect that we are actually using.
Or state is managed with the create signal primitive, which returns a getter and setter. The framework will observe this data and surgically update its exact location in the DOM when it changes, instead of re-rendering the entire component. Again, it's truly reactive. To get started, generate a new solid project. It uses Vite as the build tool and should look very familiar if you've ever used React. Define a
So this is what we have done. We just built like a clone of it. And we have now our line that authorize the microphone, and we get this thing called a stream. Um, Now I will have to do exactly as mentioned before, where we have the getter and the setter. So I would like to create my stream with a signal and with a set stream. Okay, equals to create signal. So this creates signal. I don't know where it comes from, but for sure it does come from somewhere. Um, so solid.js import create signal. Is it like, is there an example? Yeah. Import create signal from solid.js. I do like this tutorial as well. It's really like felt like. So import create signal from solid.js. Const stream set stream create signal. And this signal will be by default like media stream. So I don't know which type. Is this like a type media stream? It looks like it's a type for the browser, supported by the browser by default. So media stream. So you just need to, I guess, so anywhere here, if you have media stream, new is required, but like it's a function, right? Though, if how do you create like create and returns new media stream objects? You can create an empty stream, a stream which is based upon an existing stream, or a stream that contains a specified. So I don't know if I can just create an empty stream. It looks like it doesn't really like this. Part of it is that I do have an extra thing here, and here new is required. Okay, so apparently there is no problem here. Alright, so now I want to show the list of devices allowed on this. I would have them from media devices. Enumerate devices. This code here should give me something a lot like, alright, this is what we have here. and I can select by ID. So I need to make a list for. I need to have a component that allows me to change the. So is it possible to change the audio first? So um, I don't know how to make the list actually. It's just a bit of work. I'm not able to stand right now. So I created a signal and I use the set streams things here, and then normally I should be able to have um shit. I should be able to have um an effect on the stream when it changes. So for example, I don't know, if I do change this permission to for localhost, I might need to reload, and here it's allowed, and then I allow, and then it's okay. But when it's okay, it should be like an effect. So how do you make effects? So we have a signal here. Set count, div count, whatever. Signals are trackable values, but they are only one half of the equation. To components, those are observers that can be updated by those trackable values. So we can create an effect. The count is now count. So count is actually like a function. And then we can use create effects from solid.js here. Then use in here create effect. Wait, console.log stream. Okay, so here we have the new stream. Each time we will change this. So if we get the meta stream here, ID in here, and once I have the stream, what I can do as well is to try to do navigator. So the whole JavaScript code. Now we go from enumerate devices. Here. From examples. This. And this, sorry, set paste. Okay, so like this, we also can animate the devices once we have authorization. So I can reset this, it's okay. I can disable the authorization, and I still have when the thing is loaded. Stream here, meta stream is active as false, and then we can allow this, and active is true. So if um so let's see that I would like to have my stream or um current stream equals to stream, and if current stream active false, you can just return. So we have a few errors here. Do we? Yeah, we do. Um, unexpected token expected. Okay, yeah, current stream here in JavaScript, you have to put it in between parentheses. And code assignment to undeclared variable current stream. So let me refresh this. Um, yeah, it's connected and the stream has been updated. So, um, I don't know how I can use this create effect now for me to, I can create new signals. To have a transitive effect. So each time we have new signals, we have new devices, and here we are just logging them. So we got like the kind, the label, and the ID. And we are looking for audio input devices. So actually we don't have them, it's not double, it's just different kind of devices. So I want to only get the output, the audio input devices, and create a signal for that. So I can have const audio inputs set audio inputs, and that will be a nice list, or it could be a dictionary where I can put like every ID, because it's a unique ID, and put each ID, give it its name. Or I can put it a list. And so for each device here, if device.kind equals to audio input, we will create here audio inputs. And we will do audio inputs dot push audio inputs dot push device ID and device name. So I will push name and ID. Name. It should be the device dot label. And ID device dot device ID. And I can call it device ID instead, just to keep the same legends. So once this is pushed here, it's the same thing for all the other devices. And then I can here, just for the moment, create effect. Where I would do console.log audio inputs and see a little bit more what's going on. Oh, sorry, it's more like this. Alright, so we have an array here that's empty, But that's weird because pushing is apparently not. So actually, because I'm not using the set audio inputs, so do we have actually here a way to use push? So I don't know how you actually do in JavaScript to create a new array. So 1 second. So React set to an array, expand array, updating arrays in state, how to add, remove, or change things in React state. You shouldn't use methods that mutate the array, such as push and pop. You should reassign them. Avoid. So prefer concat. All right, that's it. Spread syntax. It's concat. Array first. All right, so here I gotta set it to be. So let me see concat. You have two arrays. You can concatenate them. So this will be audio inputs. Dot concat. This is really ugly. Audio inputs 2 is not a function. Well, where did I use? I guess because I'm not inside an effects here, it's a different way of behaving. Okay. So each time we're logging for audio inputs here, we don't have a larger array, we do have the same one. Okay. But I would like to have each time. So it is inside an effects. And audio inputs is actually an effect. But inside set audio inputs, so I must maybe read the state first. So alright, so audio inputs will be equals to this. New audio inputs. Giving me audio inputs concat, so and then set audio inputs, no new audio inputs. Okay. Same thing here. I got like audio inputs. 2 is not a function because I guess it comes from hmm. Okay. Type error inside create effect. Okay, so let's see if we have some way to get through this in the tutorial. So here it's very easier. We don't have any, and we can create an effect here for so create effect console.log count. So this way the counter here, when the count change, on click equals to set count plus 1. Alright, so it's exactly the same thing we were trying to do here with our concatenation plan. So there is the array expansion as well. So array expansion JS sprite syntax. So sum x plus y z, sum of numbers, or sum dot apply null to numbers. Okay. A terrible object. So we can actually use this and complement. So we could use it like this. So audio inputs. We can say so set audio inputs will be to spread audio inputs first, and then um, with the new value here with name being device.label and device ID device.device ID. Removing this. Let's see if this spread operator has saved us. I guess it did not. Same thing, same issue. We have type error. Up to input to is not a function. Solid.js array signal. Count set count. But for a value, it's I get it. I get it. There is nothing special. Where it starts to be embarrassing, like to start to be complex. I mean, what if we just use HTMX to return that values to the server, and the server will decide what to generate as per next. And HTMX, not quite sure we are able to use this. So that was spread syntax. I started using the spread syntax here, but apparently it didn't work out. So here audio inputs again doesn't really like it. I cannot like expand this. So let's see an example. From React, it's okay maybe, and then I don't know why it's not working here. Okay. We have the same example with double count. They're called derived signal because they again they're the reactivity from the signal they access. So we can gain reactivity from a signal. Maybe it's all it was like, are we using, like, we are not using, there's a set interval here for setting the count, there is a clicker, but I don't see use effects in here. Most of the time, composing the derived signal is sufficient. However, it is sometimes beneficial to cache values in order to reduce duplicated work. We can use memo to evaluate a function and store the result until its dependencies change. This is great for caching calculation for effects that have other dependencies and mitigating the work required for expensive operation like DOM node creation. Memos are both an observer, like an effect, and a read-only signal, since they are, maybe I'm using here, so I do create an effect, and my effect is a bit too difficult for this create effect function is not something I can trust. Or is it? Hi, Gaurav Kumar. Yeah, I'm kind of starting not to be able to. So okay, let me try to give you a little explanation of what I'm trying to do, and maybe you could help, or I don't know, maybe we can figure it out together. I have a little book recorder I want to make, and for this I see that I have some get user media function to give restrictions for all right, I think he's gone. Kumar is gone. Anyways, so for, I don't know, but it's kind of starting to, so audio inputs 2 is not a function here, where I have oh, okay, 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 all right, that's all I had to fix in here. Yeah, sometimes reread your code is good base to get to. Indeed, that was not correct. I was just redefining audio inputs, which was this audio inputs in here. So in my create effects here, when I have a change on the stream, I can have, when it's active, then I can like list the devices, and when I list the devices, I can set audio inputs to be the list of devices that are available, and then I can create another effect on set the devices. So here it perfectly works, and I get an array with 4 elements. So those are all my audio inputs. And now I have to create a list somewhere for a component with those 4 little devices, and I will be able to have some props to share with another. Some prop will be like the device ID for the recorder, and not sure where we're going. So I made this function called app, but now in the props, maybe I'll make this as a prop, so the audio inputs will be the props for this one. So I will make another function. So not sure, we'll make another little component called like device selector or so. And so let's see, the device selector would be a component I can make. So so I can import, so as this is GSX, I think what I can do here is make in my frontend solid.js source directory, I can create something. So I can, I don't know how I'm gonna split it, but now let's say I will set it like device input audio input selector select.jsx, and it will be very familiar to this one. So function audio input select, and for example here I will be doing import audio. I don't even know if I do have to do import, so let's try to not do this. So function audio input select, that will return empty, just a div here to say that we are inside the selector. So here it says that it looks like pre-transform error. Adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Alright, so apparently I need to make a div somewhere like this. And it looks like that was the only issue I had, so I should have, so if I reload, audio input select is not defined. So how do you work with a single component? Bindings, props, default props, children stores, reactivity, async. There's a lot of tutorials though. That's quite nice. Components. So import nested from nested. Then so as you build your applications, you will want to break apart of your code for better modularity and reusability in Solid. The main way of doing that is by creating components. Components are just function like the hello world one we have been using so far. What makes them special is that they typically return JSX and can be called by JSX in other components. In this example, let's add our nested components to our app. We have defined it in another file. Though you can put multiple components in the same file, first we must import it. Import nested from nested. So they just don't say where was this file put into, like they put it in another file, but like what's the name of the file? And then, well, let's try to import it. Import audio input select from, so audio input select, and not sure this has changed much. Did it? Doesn't provide names defaults. Okay, so I think he wants something like this, components. And instead of this, it wants to move, make their components and move audio inputs to components. Failed to resolve components. Components. Does the file exist? Not quite sure. Sometimes I see there's this, but so let's maybe retry with this form here. Where I had this instead of function. So also maybe let's see how this function here. So if I edit app, like what is actually, I think it's index.jsx that is import app from app. And so this one doesn't really complains about it. Import app from app was pretty clear. So why should I worry where I do here in audio select, audio input select? And from app.jsx, I do upward audio input select from audio input select. But the requested module doesn't provide an export named default. Well, I'm not trying to. So should I do this way? Not at all. Okay, so before components here, I got JSX. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like this. Free transform. So it says in here, maybe I have to restart bytes. Well, it doesn't look like. The requested module doesn't provide an export named audio input select. All right. What about this one? This one gave me a different, slightly different error. While this one doesn't provide an export name this way. This one gave me. Did I saved? Doesn't provide an export name default. And they both give me 3000 source audio input select.jsx. Whereas the path, what's the path by byte for me too? So I see that the update doesn't really see my files. It does see source app.jsx, it does see source index.css, but I don't see that my JSX file is actually included in here. HMR updates, so I don't know. So app.jsx is there. So I don't know where to target the file compiled by a byte. So byte import JSX. I don't know how to configure byte to allow JSX syntax files in JS files. Byte import. Got roots, teams. JSX import source solid/slash/js. Is there any other templates? Hmm. We got a router in JS. We don't have the router in JS. We have it's in TS TypeScript. We have some source here. We have pages. We got index. We have pages. Roots. So import router at solid.js/roots. Import roots from roots. So there's a file called roots. Yeah, it does export const roots. So is it all because I'm not exporting it? Maybe. Could it be so export function audio? Okay, now it's in the list. Now it's in there. So we were missing this very important export features. Let's try to go back to where I was, my solid app here. All right, so audio input select is not defined. Yes, but I have it like in the HTML update. Now in my app.jsx, I can import audio input select. Oops. From audio input select. There we go. And it doesn't says this. Actually, it's most it says rather than. Okay, there we go. So once I'm done with my interfaces, so I don't know actually like how. I know how many there are. Actually, I do because I do from animated devices. I do know how many devices there are. So but they are being updated in the real time. So instead of set audio inputs like this, I should do this after for each. But because of the functional nature of this function here, device for each, I'm not sure how to end up with a proper way, and especially I should be using filter. So I should be using devices.filter device kind equal audio input. And I need to send this list back to my order components at this moment, this very moment. Except this is not what I'm doing here. I'm creating a list and always setting it bigger and bigger each time I find a new device, which is not really that cool. So so instead I will refactor a bit, then devices, I will do here filter device dot kind equals audio input. So this should give me only the devices with audio input, and instead of for each actually I can do for each. I can do hello. So instead of for each t text editor, you mean? Almost. Anyways, so in here oh, we do try to type TypeScript. No, we're doing only JavaScript. Filter device kind audio input, and so I would here, once I have my filtered list, I will do for each and create like a cache, like do like cache equal like this. We don't need 2 times a point here, and for each device cache dot push. So this one is self-updating. Cache dot push either this or cache equal so I don't need any more of these. Then so cache for each, so devices for each, and then so cache equal cache with a little extra member would be device kind label, sorry, and device ID. Okay. So my array is now empty, but at least at the end of here I can console.log cache. Don't we? Device is undefined. Yeah, sure. and valid assignment to const cache 2. So here for each device, we do cache equals to cache. So this is inside an effect. I don't know why. Yeah. Indeed, it's should be a let. Like we have a cache, but cache is empty. Well, while is cache empty? I do want my cache to have should I use cache.push here? Or is it well, I get all the devices though here. And it's indeed a bit like weird how this loop is happening, because I got through all the devices here and I can log them, but apparently this cache thing is not working. So you know what? I will be using my cache, my audio input set audio inputs. Inputs. Audio inputs. It's very good to work with a framework because the browser is a mess. And here instead of this, we will have cache and we have audio inputs. So here we have this audio inputs, by the way. Okay. Alright, and the array is indeed growing. And audio inputs is not defined. So I got recursive call here, I think. And it still grows. Okay, what if I reload it? Okay, it's okay. So I got the numbers here, but I can get the number from just before calling for each. If I do filter my devices, I know how many there are from this call. Um, so I don't know if there is like a way to do apply or something in between. If there is a array apply JS mat.max.apply. So maybe there is a way with apply. I just want to know how many there are. Or I can just get enumerate device, device kind, audio input. Dot filter. Audio input. And only be working with these devices. And like I can return the length something. So we have audio inputs counts as well. Equal create signal 0. And here I could set audio inputs count and use it in the state of the app as a prop. Okay. Filter is not a function. No, because it's a promise. So again, we have navigator, media devices, then devices, and then we have device, filter device, device kind. Um, then we have for the device, we filter the one with this kind. We got the length, and this will second. Set audio input counts. Input counts to be device filter length. Okay. I wish I could try Visual Studio Code because it's kind of a madness to run. File, new window. File, open folder. I'm working in WD slash bookrec slash frontend slash solid.js. Let's open this guy. And let's try to stream from this one instead. VSC Visual Studio Code. Okay. And top of there. Can't see the code is called. Fit to screen. All right. So I'm still into this part here. So navigator.meta device and meta device, then devices, set audio input counts. I think could not find name device. Yeah. I wanted to say call about devices. Filter length. So that should send it to my set audio input counts And then devices, and there we could catch also like an error message. Okay. Um, so that's being it. The whole thing being into a create effect function, and I can just, for the sake of it, as I do log here, can create effects where I can just console.log audio inputs count when I receive the signal for audio inputs count. Yeah. I will be saving this. Maybe I will npm run dev in here. And just adding a little change for tools, automatic sync switcher. I will add for code. Code. Close. All right. The only thing is okay. So let's see. Enable to connect to network. Yeah. I have to npm run dev again. And there we go. Audio inputs counts 0 and audio inputs counts 4. So it actually receives a value that is equals to 0, and then when it's being authorized, we got a value equal to 4. So this is when I would like to be able to start the component for the selector. The selector will display each label, and we will be able to select the device ID and connect to the stream from that device ID. I think that there were, so inside the media device here we can get display media, or sorry, select audio output we can do, or there is something about the stream, I don't remember. Examples. Capture controller, that's logical surface. Well, that's have been 2 hours. So I guess I will just end this stream here. We were much further than what I was excited to. We got to understand how signals works, how effects works with solid.js. We are able to enumerate devices and have a kind of a clumsy way to list them. We are able to import another component, and we're about to make a component with the list being extracted when the app starts. We are able to allow everything, and then everything can start. So it's pretty good. What have I been to do? See you next time. Enjoy to be here. And yeah, I mean, that's it. Save it for later. Save the joy for later, baby.